This 26 Sports and CCTV high school football presentation is brought to you by Cadillac Casting Incorporated.
All right, sorry, we're back to the action, and there was a good pass there from number 2, Addison Mitchell, number 10, for a first down on the right side.
Yeah, it looked like about a 21-yard gain, and Nummer made a great fake and rolled out to his right. Lakeview's offensive line did a good job holding them, and Addison found a seam, completed it, so it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line of Lake City.
And just to get a little confidence going for the Wildcats, they'd like to get some points out of this drive. Number looking back to pass to his left, gets rid of it. It's kind of a wobbly pass. It is intercepted by Ryan Towinski.
Yeah, Number kind of threw that off his back foot, didn't get anything behind it, and
no.
Unfortunately, that's a drive killer right there. But good pressure by Lake City, and
yep.
And like we say, the DB gets the interception, but he wouldn't have done it without the pressure that the defensive line and linebackers applied. So
yep.
Lake City's going to start at the 10-yard line, have to go 90 yards to score here, but Lakeview still in the one safety set there. They might need to change that with this
they're just
2-by-2 look here with 2 guys on each side split out. That's a tough coverage.
There's a fake handoff,
right
looking
there.
left, wide open. Devin Davis as he cuts to the middle. Davis still on his feet, still going. Look at the effort right there, all the way down to the 40. Now that is a great play there by Devin Davis. He has got some speed and some good moves to get out of the open. We get a tackle on that, Jason?
I didn't. I think
okay.
Addison Mitchell was in on the tackle, but it took a couple of his friends to bring him down because he was running pretty hard.
All right, so the line of scrimmage is the 40-yard line of the Trojans as they have been pretty successful through the air so far. This time they'll hand it off to Noah Thome. Thome on the left side. He's got a good run there, getting 5 or 6, and that's a great first down run.
Yeah, and Michael Hogel is good at kind of running this offense, where he takes his time, he gets a good handoff, but yet all of a sudden he can, throw right down the middle, and he knows who he wants to throw to when he gets up to the line. You can tell because he makes his pre-snap read and then throws a good ball. Here they go again with a trips kind of look on the right side here.
Yep, Davis is in the slot right, and the handoff, and right there meeting him, big number 54, Brian Keene, the senior.
Yeah, good tackle there by Brian Keene. He shot through his gap, and there was not anybody there blocking him. So.
The ball was almost handed off to Keene as he was in there so quickly.
That's kind of one of those plays that they run just to keep the defense honest because they obviously are having more success throwing the ball. But once in a while you do have to run it or else they make too many adjustments.
Right. All right, up to the line.
So kind of have a double slot look here. There's Lakeview going with 2 safeties.
Looking to the right. Open there is Ben Nutmere, and he drops it. Not sure if it's an incomplete pass.
And Lakeview actually took, I believe it was Nummer there as a linebacker and pulled him back as a safety. So they're starting to adjust to that. Unfortunately for them, they got down 14-0 before they did that.
No, Ben Marion actually had the catch, but he was looking downfield to run, took his eyes off it just at the last second.
So 4th down here, looks like they're going to go for it, Bill. Pretty gutsy call here with a lot of time left in the half here. They're on Lakeview's side of the ball.
4th and 8, keeping it. Matt Holt over the middle, and it's picked off by number 44. That's Andrew Nummer, and that'll give the Wildcats some momentum and emotion right there.
Yeah, so it's a great play by Nummer, and unfortunately for Hogel, he thought he could thread the seam like he's done a couple of times tonight, and Nummer just jumped up and grabbed it.
All right, to see if we've got some scores coming here. We have Nick Swagger reporting in with Cadillac. It is 7-6 with 1:45 to go in the first quarter. Cadillac is down 7-6 to Bay City John Glenn.
So Lakeview have the ball here, and they have it at the 46-yard line of Lake City, 1st and 10.
They were showing blitz. They got it. Here's a nice
pass.
screen. It
Yeah.
was a good call, but just a little bit out in front of number 5. That's Jackson Larson.
That's a tough play to run in high school. You know, it takes a good quarterback, good receiver, and then it takes a lot of practice on that offensive line to know when to let their defensive guy go. And
right. Actually, it was well designed and
yeah.
everything. The quarterback did what he had to, just a little bit off the fingertips from Larson.
Yep, a middle screen is hard because you got the judge in there.
There's
and
another
everything.
blitz there, and right up the middle was Addison Mitchell. That was a nice call too on the blitz by Lake City.
Looks like he's going to be about 4-yard gain, so it's going to be 3rd and 6. Pretty big play here. I would think if you're Lakeview, you got 2 downs to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they would choose to pin him deep or to go for it, but you know they run their option, and
that quick hitter up the middle has been pretty good for Lakeview so far.
Well, they threw the ball a couple times, and sometimes that backs the defense up just a little bit, so they can do it. So they get a good mix of that in. Here's another pass.
Number looking right. He's got some pressure down the field. This one's picked off by Matt Holt, number 7, and a lot of pressure, and he didn't get much on it.
Yep, and that's the second time tonight. Number's kind of just thrown it off his back foot.
Yeah. Yep. I'm sure he's not happy with that. One of those sometimes maybe just eat it, take a loss, but. Great. I'm trying to see who came off the corner there for Lake City. I mean, looked like he was shot out of a cannon, but good pressure there.
Yeah. So and that's a tough pill to swallow for Lakeview. They actually had some little momentum going, and if you go into halftime and they score there, you go in maybe down 14-7. It's a whole nother game. But giving it back here is tough.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line, and we've got a timeout.
Lakeview probably called it, yeah.
That's Coach Sean Reinhardt. This is his 6th year.
6th year, yep.
He is 33-17 overall.
Not bad record, huh?
Pretty good record in 6 seasons.
Yep, I talked to him earlier for the game, and he's from Richmond High School, and then he went
down on the other side of the state,
yep,
right?
On the east side, right. And then he actually went, I believe he said North Carolina to teach, and then came back to Lakeview.
Okay.
So,
the last year they were 6-4. They lost to perennial powerhouse Montague in the pre-district. So good season there. But he's strung some good seasons together for the program.
Yeah, and it's hard to get numbers out this year. It seems like McBain has had some number issues. Cadillac has had number issues.
Yep.
And football's kind of under attack now with the number issues, but they. To make a plug for football, they're doing a lot of things with how they teach tackling, with the concussion protocol and everything, and they're doing everything that they possibly can to keep the kids safe. So,
all right, we'll see if we can get Dan Gusser to score from McBain here in just a moment. It is 1st down for Lake City out wide, and that one is going nowhere. Great tackle there for a loss.
That's number 6, Michael Namo.
Michael Namo, first time we called his name.
Yep, he's a junior linebacker there, and it almost looked like that was his job, is to get the pitch man, and he did a nice job with it. So it's going to make it 2nd and long.
Lakeview is actually, like you said, besides the 2 interceptions, they've actually had some good defensive plays.
Yep.
They've moved the ball offensively, just clean up that, some of the longer passes, and they're right in it.
Lake City will come out probably in their double slot look, and man, this is a tough cover right here for this slot guy because nobody is over him.
Looking right, but going back to the left on a nice screen set up there. Good blocking in front of him. That's Noah Thome. Thome, number 11, is up to the 40. He's at the 45, cuts back at the 50, finally brought down. What a beautiful call there as he looked right, came back to the left on the screen.
And even us in the booth here are all watching for everybody going vertical down the field, and good call on the screen left there by Lake City. So it's going to be 1st and 10 at midfield for Lake City.
And great blocking. I know one of the receivers out there, Jason, was one of the blockers, but just nice job of being patient and leading the way for Noah.
I think Devin Davis was out there, and Yeah, now Lake City's kind of in the driver's seat here with 7:36 left to go.
Here's a pass by Holt. It was tipped by number 60 for Lakeview. That was Andrew Hetty.
Yeah, Hetty's had a pretty good game. He's put some pressure on the quarterback earlier. That time he dropped back in pass coverage.
So that's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Trojans. And they will be facing McBain next week. That'll be in McBain. That'll be a big one too.
Yeah, Lake City headed to McBain. You know, that's anytime you play McBain in the Highland Conference, you kind of mark that on your schedule. And here's the double slot look for Lake City again. Almost a pistol action in the backfield, but
Ben Marion slips, goes down, and in high school football, as soon as you hit the knee, you don't have to be touched. That's it.
Yep, and that's a tough play sometimes because you know there's the rule if it's behind the line of scrimmage, or actually a backwards pass, it's a live ball, and he probably was like, let's get on this and get it up the field.
Need to get our sponsors here real quick.
Absolutely. So our presenting sponsor tonight is Cadillac Castings, Fox Motors of Cadillac, Cadillac Tire, LC Materials, Bowman and Rogers. Go ahead, but I'll read the rest afterwards.
Okay. Snap goes to Holt. Holt on the right side, looking downfield. There's a shot. Oh, and almost picked there by Nummer. He had an opportunity there. Go ahead, Jason, with our sponsors.
Lake City Family Pharmacy, A-Tech Automotive, Ash's Coffee Cup, and finally Pizza Plus. You know, that play right there, Bill, Hochul had a ton of time, and he almost, got out here. He could survey around. I'm sorry, Holt.
That's right, Holt. Yeah, he had a lot of time, and then he tried to kind of force it in to a tight spot there. But
he did, and nothing taken away from the coverage there. That was a good play. He was open for a second, but Holt put it a little too far inside.
Look at this formation here with Ben Marion kind of in the, it's a
fake punt.
Yeah, fake. Right to Noah Thome on the sideline, dancing all the way down to the 30, still going, and finally thrown out of bounds by Addison Mitchell. What a run there.
He actually stepped out of bounds a little earlier, I think, at the 33, but.
Yep, they are right.
I don't think Lakeview was quite prepared for that. There was a lead blocker back in the backfield with the punter, and they did a quick snap, and he just took off. And I thought Lakeview had him for a second behind the line of scrimmage, but he got through, and
Noah Thome has had a good first half. So it is now 1st down on the 33-yard line. 14-0. The Lake City Trojans are in the lead over the Wildcats of Lakeview. Here's a give on the left side, a nice cutback all the way down. 1st down to the 18. That was what, number 32? David Greenfield, the senior.
Yeah. Bailey Harris for Lakeview over pursued on that, and he had him in the backfield, but didn't make the tackle. Good cut by Greenfield and good run.
Boy, Lake City has so many weapons, Jason. I mean, when you look, it's just they're going to a ton of different personnel.
And this is the spot where you can take a shot down the field to Ben Marion. And really Addison Mitchell back there is their only safety. So
handoff inside, big gap there. All the way down, 1st down to the 5, and that again is David Greenfield.
Yeah, Addison Mitchell makes the tackle, and it's great to have your safety make a tackle, but it's also not so great because that means they've gained 12 yards before he's involved in the play.
Boy, just when you think you got the passing game, they break out the inside running to Greenfield. And
right here, if I'm Lake City, I don't throw the ball. You just keep pounding it and. Looks like we got an equipment issue. No, a timeout. Timeout on Lakeview.
All right.
So we got 5:55 left, Bill, and Lake City's up 14-0. All sports for 26 Sports are produced in cooperation with the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center, CCTV, and My News 26. Student-run cameras, graphics, instant replay, and they are supervised by a pro director. This year we have 2 vans filming 2 different locations, as Bill said. The other van is over in McBain.
McBain, yep. With Gussard and Jim Ferrito.
So all games actually will be available online at www.mynews26.com, and also check air times at www.mynews26.com. So I don't know if you've ever been on the website, but it's got a lot of resources, and you can actually look back and see
old games.
Old games. There's basketball games.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on there. So it's kind of neat to see.
We want to give a shout out to our crew. Our director tonight is Heather Stilson. On camera, we have Kaylee Buck, Rain Johnson-Hill, and we are thinking that Jacob Owens is in the van. We'll wait for Heather to tell us if that is true.
So, and if you want to order a DVD of this game or DVD sets at the end of the year, you can also go on the website, and they make great gifts for the athletes, great gifts for the families. And there'll be lots of games. There's volleyball games. There's football, basketball.
Volleyball last night.
So here we go.
Handoff inside, and right there he is stuffed. I see number 18 and also number, who's 18 for Lakeview? I don't know if we
Lakeview number 18 is Evan Vining.
Okay.
And Evan's another running back for them. He had 3 carries last week for about 30 yards. So he's one of their running backs, but I think that's about his second tackle tonight.
Good job by Vining to stop that one dead in its tracks. We have 2nd and 7.
So
second and goal.
5.5 minutes left here, and Lake City's trying to punch one in from the 7-yard line.
They've got Ben Marion to the right, along with number 3. That's Cahoon. Here's a sweep to the right by Matt Holt. Holt will get down to the 2.
Nope, he didn't get it, did he?
Nope, he was kept out by 7 there. I think that's
Michael Hogel.
Michael Hogel stopped that touchdown. 3rd and goal.
Number 9 for Lake City coming in the game, and I don't have a number 9. Do you, Bill?
No.
I do. Miles McLeod is number 9.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was 44.
Yep, he must have switched from last year. So Miles McLeod coming in. Looks like he's going to be in the backfield. Miles is a good-looking kid, a big kid there. He's going to be in a fullback position there.
So this time Holt will be under center. He's going to take it right up the middle, trying to follow his lead blocker, waiting for a signal.
I think they're going to mark him. I think they're going to mark him short. It's going to be 4th down.
Okay, and he's got to be inches from the goal line.
The back judge there held up his hand instantly that it was 4th down, so he must have seen his knee hit.
Okay.
This is a pretty big play for Lakeview. They stop him here. That's a big momentum getter, even if you don't score. But I don't know if I'm Lake City, I run the same play.
I agree. They've got some good size there under center, and when the snap count is going to be. That gives that advantage to the quarterback.
So the ball's at about the 1-foot line.
Jacob Rosecrans, big number 71. He'll lead the way, and Matt Holt will just plow his way into the end zone as he rode the back of Rosecrans. Good call there, Jason.
Yeah, and that's a play actually that a lot of teams run, even in the middle of the field. They just run a quick hitter up the middle, quarterback keep.
So Matt Holt with the rushing touchdown for Lake City. It is now 20-0. But a lot of credit right there to, like I said, big number 71, Jacob Rosecrans, the junior offensive lineman.
So Holt is the holder. And
kick. It looks good right down the middle. It is. Who was that kicked?
I believe it's number 1, Devin Davis was the kicker.
Davis, okay. 21-0. The Trojans with the lead here in the second quarter with 4:20 to go. You are watching high school football action on 26 Sports and CCTV. Happy to have Jason Main here along with Bill Dooley. Jason, what years did you play at Lakeview?
Actually graduated in 96, so I would played 95 and then four years before that. So
I heard that the team was really down during those years. There was I'm not sure if it was you or not.
Especially at the quarterback position there.
Just kidding there, Jason. Now, I imagine you played basketball and football?
Correct, yep.
Okay.
Basketball and baseball, too.
And baseball.
Yep. And actually, one of the coaches is a friend of mine, Ryan Valente, who was on the baseball team. He's a couple years ahead of me, but he's a great pitcher. Went on to play in college and now comes back and is coaching there.
Now, are there any families here that you maybe noticed just from Lakeview, that we maybe give a shout out to somebody?
Joe Main is actually the distant second cousin of mine. He's the JV coach of one of the JV coaches.
Okay.
And then a lot of the names are familiar,
Shout out to Joe Main then. That ball is rolling all the way back, and Edison Mitchell. Boy, it's going to be close. We got to wait to see if it's. And he's going to give it to Mitchell. Holy, that's the third time, Jason, that he's kind of not handled it cleanly.
I think Harris did one of them, but I don't know if maybe they're not used to the cooler temperatures up north.
Yeah, that's actually there's no weather conditions right now. So they're going to be backed up deep in their own zone on the 7-yard line. And
a tough play, and they got time. They got 4:16 left, and they put together a drive right here. They'll be back in the game, but unfortunately for them, if they don't, and Lake City gets another score, it's a 4-score game, and that's a tough one to come from.
Yeah, you don't want to give Lake City good field position, but you have to get at least some yardage on this drive. Mitchell, he spins for maybe 2 or 3. Good effort there on a second attempt. Didn't see who was on the tackle there for the Trojans.
I didn't. I actually think number 9, Miles McLeod, was in there. He's trying to play middle linebacker. He's got the towel behind his back there. Lake City McBain next week will be a good game. McBain threw the ball 32 times last week, and the junior quarterback kind of got the feel for it. It was a
back to pass is Nummer's wrapped up there by Miles McLeod. We just mentioned him.
Yep. That was a long developing play. It's like a stop and go route, and if you take too long on the stop, then the quarterback gets sacked. But Lake City's going to call a timeout here to try to get the ball back one more time with some time on the clock.
And that'll give us a chance for our sponsors here again.
Tonight, our presenting sponsor is Cadillac Castings. We also are sponsored by Fox Motors of Cadillac, Cadillac Tire, LC Materials, Bowman and Rogers, Lake City Family Pharmacy, A-Tech Automotive, Ash's Coffee Cup, and Pizza Plus. So thank you to those sponsors tonight. And looking at some scores around the state, it looks like, Bill, did you get some?
Yeah,
Cadillac?
Cadillac just scored and got the 2-point conversion. Now they are up 14-7 with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, and that's kind of a shocker. John Glenn has got a strong team, and Cadillac's on the road. So far, so good for the Vikings.
Good for them. And I talked to Coach Risinga last night about the game, and he said John Glenn likes to throw the ball a little bit. So. He was hoping for a rainy night, but it's 3-0 in the second quarter from the McBain game tonight, and they are playing
Morley-Stanwood.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that one of the teams you played against near Lakeview?
They did, and they're right on 131 there.
Yep. All right, so now Lakeview after the timeout, it's third down and 13. They need something big here. Number in the middle, swarmed under with nothing whatsoever.
Yeah, Lakeview gave him a little different look on the formation there, and hopefully we're trying to back him up, but looked like number 51 was in on the tackle there. That would be Nate Knapp.
And do you know what the time clock is in between snaps in high school? 45?
25 seconds. So
25,
yep.
Okay. All right, so back to kick is going to be Harris. And Harris just gets it off, and he booms a nice one
kick,
all the way to the 40. Devin Davis fumbles.
Looked like Lakeview.
And Davis has got,
he got it back.
It did look like Lakeview had it at first, didn't it?
He had a chance. And I always coach my kids that say there's one time in a game that somebody is going to drop a punt, and never to give up on it. And it happens so much in the younger age, and high school and junior high. They just – punts are hard to catch.
Yeah.
There's guys in the NFL that's all they do is catch punts, and they make millions of dollars to catch it, and even fair catch it. It doesn't matter as long as you don't drop it.
That's right.
So Lake City's going to have a short field here. They're at the 39-yard line with 2:51 left. They'd like nothing better probably than to put it in. Watch this on the slot right here. Run right up the middle.
Taking a look to the right. He's got tons of time. Matt Holt finally fires it. It's complete. Well, they're saying
nope. They said he didn't catch
it dropped. Okay.
Looks like Lakeview talked him into that one a little bit.
That was intended for David Greenfield.
Yep. And you know.
Oh no, is that 22? Sorry, that was Braden Hingston, number 22.
Braden Hingston. Yep. It's easy for us to see the play develop up here, but I thought he had the slot guy down the seam.
All the time in the world.
He did have all the time. Lakeview's going to have to figure out how to get a little pressure on him.
All right, into the game, number 3. That's Michael Cahoon for the Trojans. You usually see him split out wide to the right, along with Ben Marion in the slot. We've got Twainski and Davis to the left. Holt, back to pass. Holt steps up. He's going to keep it. He's got some space, cuts back into the middle of the field. Got a little bit more running space. He's got a lot of speed. Down to the 10. We got a flag. To the 5. He's into the end zone for a touchdown.
I believe it's going to be a block in the back at about the 15-yard line because that's a tough play when they're running to the back side and cut all the way across the field. You know, Lakeview's turning to run, and I thought I saw right where that point of attack was.
Yeah.
So the refs will converge here and try to figure out where to put the ball. You know, where's everybody going to line up?
Yep. It's what do we have? We have 2:26 to go in the first half.
Yeah. You know, if it were against Lakeview, they wouldn't be talking about it this much because they just say, you know, touchdown and they decline the penalty. But this one's going to be against Lake City. Personal foul. I'm not sure what that is. If it's an unsportsmanlike conduct or.
I
think it's. They're offsetting penalties. They called it on both of them.
Okay, so good for Lakeview. Brings it all the way back. That was a big play by Holt, but that will not count in the record books.
You know, I don't, and possibly they both got tied up together and carried it. I didn't see that. I mean, we'll have to look that signal up, bumping your two fists together.
Yeah, we'll check that at halftime. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 10 with 2:20 to go.
So they'll retry it here.
Yep. Matt Holt looking right side. He's got Hingston wide open, and he'll go down all the way to the 27. I believe that's Hingston. Yes, 22. Braden Hingston, that's his 2nd or 3rd reception.
You know, that's a long throw for Holt and throws it 30 yards, but they got a first down out of it.
That was a good second effort there by Braden. And the clock will keep, now it's stopped. Okay, there it goes.
It's going to start it once they get the chain set there, yep. You know, in Lake City, really, they don't need to hurry here. They really would prefer to score with 1 second left on the clock. And
coach's dream right there, huh? This
Long
time is
drives.
a fake handoff. In the middle, he's got Davis wide open. Devin Davis cutting across the green, and and he's drilled
is
there.
That Addison Mitchell again? No, that's
who was that? Michael Hogel?
That's number 7, Michael Hogel. You're correct. Yep.
Wow, that was a hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, Addison Mitchell and Michael Hogel are good corners and safeties back there. They come up and get it. Unfortunately, they're making a lot of tackles.
Yeah. Devin Davis has had a really good first half. Ben Marion, several players really stepping it up. Here's a handoff to the left side. 32, he's got the corner, cuts back and into the end zone for a touchdown. Lake City. David Greenfield. No flags, and it'll be 27-0 here. Good speed by Greenfield. I just remember a Greenfield in Cadillac with tremendous speed. I thought it was David Greenfield. It could have been, just a relative.
David Greenfield. There was a Jordan Greenfield. There was a couple others there.
Yeah.
So Matt Holt would be the holder, and number
Kick
1, Devin
is
Davis.
Up and good.
It is good.
Devin Davis, that's his 2nd point after. And 28-0 here with a minute 30 to go in the first half, and now it really is kind of imperative that Lakeview gets really good field position here on the kickoff.
They're going to have to, first of all, catch the kickoff and then get a good run back. You know, and not you can't say one play made it, but that interception down here by Lakeview, they were moving down to score. It was 14-0,
right,
and they end up turning it over, leads to a score, make it 21-0, 28-0, kind of snowballed effect.
Right.
If they end up scoring on that instead of throwing it away, it's a whole new game.
Right.
And that one drive kind of sucked the life out of them.
Yeah. They had interceptions. I know Twainski had one on this side, and then the interception was at Matt.
I think it might have been Holt, number 7.
Might have been Matt Holt on the other interception on the far side there. Yeah, I believe it was Holt.
Yep.
So Walker Herrick, number 50, will put a foot into it.
Yeah, he's got a good leg, and this one's going to go out of bounds, Bill, I think. Yep.
Yeah. Now, where will they place it?
They're going to place it at the 35-yard line, unless Lakeview says kick it again, and then they back it up to the 35 and kick it again. But with his leg, I wouldn't want him to kick it again. Just take it at the 35 and go. Yep.
Decent field position here for the Wildcats, and they need to get something going here soon so they can have a little momentum going into the locker room.
They've had some success throwing the ball. They've had a little success with the toss play. I think Harris got about 12 yards on it, and they got a 3-by-1 or 2-by-1 set here with a tight end.
Yeah, they've got Larson split out to the right, along with, I believe that's Hayden Rensler, and Nummer looking to pass. Here's a screen over the middle.
Screen here. That's a tough play.
Yeah. Jackson Larson with a decent 7-yard gain, but he came all the way across the field.
Austin Hancock was trying to get there to block, and he kind of missed his guy, and they were one play away, or one man away from getting a good play out of it. But they did get 8 yards, so it's 2nd and 2 for Lakeview at the 43.
Now, I know they've called at least one timeout. Do you remember a second one being called by Coach Reinhardt, or just one that you can remember?
You know, I think Lake City actually called the other one. So Lakeview actually only has one timeout left,
There's
I believe.
A pass incomplete intended for
that's number 5, Jackson Larson.
Jackson Larson again.
Yep. So Lakeview does have one timeout left, and I believe Lake City has 2.
Okay. So that's going to make it 3rd down and about 3 to go here for the Wildcats. Checking out of the game is Nate Knapp, number 51. He was had a little injury earlier in the game, so looks like he's running pretty good.
Yeah, you always hate to see that, and you want everybody to walk away when we're done.
The only injury tonight is for the Lakeview Wildcats. That's Luke Odell, number 21, a junior. All right, Andrew Nummer, number 44, will take the snap. Number, he's got some time. Now he has some pressure, and he's going to go down with the sack. I think that's number 32, Greenfield.
You know, and Lakeview's taking a play out of Lake City's going to call a timeout. They'd like the ball back again.
Wow.
Lakeview's taking a play out of Lake City's playbook and running the 4 vertical there, but Number did not have as much time as Holt has had all night, that's for sure.
Right. He had some time, and then it really collapsed quickly there.
Yep. And, you know, this is nothing bad about taking a timeout here. It's still the first half, and you know, high school coaches, they want to respect each other, and they don't want to run up the score. But you know what? In the first half, anything goes.
Yes.
And they get the ball here. They got a quick scoring offense, and they'll try to punch another one in, force Lakeview to punt it here.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, this would never happen at the end of the game, but like you said, still first half, and you've got to play it to put points on the board.
Yep. Unfortunately, we say never, but there are some coaches that do that.
Right.
And, and it looks bad for your whole school. It looks bad for yourself, and you know, you're not really teaching good sportsmanship. But
right.
But it takes all kinds, doesn't it?
That's right. All right, the ball is placed on the 38-yard line. Back to punt, low snap, and nice job to get that one away. It's going to hit and bounce downfield.
Nice bounce. Yep, Don't touch it if you're Lakeview.
Trying to get as much out of it as possible.
Yeah, so Jackson Larson downs it, and it's going to be 1st and 10 at about the 25-yard line. So Lake City is going to have about 32 seconds to see if they can punch another one in. And you know, Bill,
do you take a shot, or do you you know?
I think so. You know, like they run the 4 vertical better than any team I've seen in a while. And Devin Davis on the extra point has a decent leg, and maybe they try to get a field goal out of it.
That's right. I guess if you're going to go downfield, go deep, because you don't want to throw an interception on a short slant.
And they got 1 timeout left, and if they're
See
live in the field,
you
know, really, there's enough time here they can run some out patterns and try to get out of bounds. But
they're going to split Towinski wide to the left and Greenfield to the right. Ben Marion's in the
screen
slot.
Pass.
Here's a screen coming back to Greenfield with his speed.
He's got some blockers.
But
needs
there's
to get
a couple
bounds.
Wildcats will get him for a short 1-yard gain. Number 18.
They're going to call a timeout, and
that's Evan Vining was in on the tackle.
So it's going to be 2nd and 8 with 17 seconds left, no timeouts left, and you know, this is where, I don't know, you could try a trick play or something, but you also
If I'm the coach, I'm taking a knee.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm doing here.
I probably wouldn't have called the timeout, but that's all right.
Right. Yep. Absolutely. We want to mention the Lady Vikings last night had a great Big North victory over Gaylord in 3 straight, but the third game went 31-29, and you just hardly ever see games go that. It was just back and forth, a great battle.
One
of the best games.
Right?
It's to 25, so it was something else. There was so much excitement and intensity on that last game there. But congratulations to the Lady Vikes.
Those are the ones you hate to lose, right?
Yes, right.
You know, this is a good chance for Lake City to practice something here. Practice something that maybe they want to do in a conference game later, but you don't want to show McBain or anything too much on film. But hey, let's practice something here so that if we ever need a touchdown, down 17 seconds, and you know we're down by 5 points, we can run something like this.
Right.
And Lakeview's got the definite prevent defense. They got 4 safeties that are about 20 yards deep.
Quick pass left, and it is picked off on the sidelines. A little bit of speed down the right side. It's number 60 for Lakeview.
Which is Andrew Hetty.
Andrew Hetty, the senior linebacker.
So they're going to get 8 seconds left with no timeouts. And, I mean, there's a chance you could take 2 plays here, maybe 1 shot in the end zone or 2 shots in the end zone.
Right.
But
they do have a timeout. Okay.
They do have one.
They have a timeout. Okay.
But, hey, you know, you look back at that, and coach is probably going to say, I should have let it run. But you're up by 28. You got a little leeway for error.
You do, but you don't want to give any momentum. If they stick it in here, boy, you'll be really,
kicking
yourself. All right. There's 8 ticks on, 8 ticks on the clock right now. Andrew Nummer, and he is wrapped up, and he cannot get away. Is he going to call a timeout?
He did.
Miles McLeod with the sack. And timeout by Sean Reinhardt, so they'll have one last opportunity here.
Actually, the ref waved his hands with 3 seconds left, but you never know. When you're at home, the rule is you make the refs put it back on the clock. Oh, they give them 2 seconds.
All right. Doesn't really matter. Even if it's 1, they're going to get 1 play no matter what. So
you know, that's a thing in high school sports is clock management, and you hear coaches every game yelling "start the clock" or "stop the clock," and sometimes I think that you should also have a referee running the clock. You know, and it's a game changer at times.
You got an update here from Dan Gustert. Jason, what do we have here? The McBain score.
Yeah, it's a 6-3. McBain is winning, and looks like a battle of field goals over there in McBain. But with Dan and Jim over there, you know, when I did the Kingsley game with Dan, I think there were like, 40, 50 points scored, but you bring Frito in, he gets 9. Yeah. So typical.
And it sounds like Jim Frito is, doing a great job there so far in his first color. He's going to be thinking contract here pretty soon.
I just hope he stays awake in the second half. So here's Lakeview's final play. It's going to be 2nd and 13 from the 15-yard line, which it doesn't matter. They're not going to get a first down. They'll probably take a shot in the end zone.
Yeah, they got Hogel and Harris split out to the left. Backing up, there's some good pressure, and he is going to be brought down with another sack. This time it's number 30. That is Sebastian Noren. And that'll do it for the first half.
Yeah, no harm done with the interception, and just delays halftime a little bit, but Lakeview is going to go into halftime down 28-0 to Lake City. Lake City's had some long drives and good passes, good runs, and they're gonna go in and try to keep it going in the second half.
All right, we're gonna take a little time out here for halftime. You are watching high school football action on 26 Sports and CCTV. Jason Main and Bill Dooley will bring you back in the second half for some more action. And right now we're going to take a break for halftime.